Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to another doing my makeup on camera. I have really gotten to the point where I enjoy filming these, and I've gotten better about applying my makeup on camera. I've done some trying some things on, some first impressions. I will leave whatever ones are uploaded down below for y'all, for you to, I guess for your viewing pleasure. And we're going to be starting a new sort of whateverness on my channel, and that is doing full faces of particular brands. I'm also going to be doing a full face of high-end as well as a full face of drugstore using different products from different brands, kind of just mishing them all together. And today we're going to be doing a full face of Colourpop, which is a brand, y'all know I love their eyeshadows. I'm trying their new, this is going to be something new that I'm trying. That's the primer. We're trying that too. But the foundation here is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I watched Teresa Is Dead, her video, her review on this, and I was like, that look really nice. And she's got the same common dry, normal to dry skin. So I thought this would be a really good foundation for me to try out. It'll be the first foundation from Colourpop that I've tried. And so far, I ain't mad about it. We'll see about how it is here, where I tend to have more problem areas. I decided I wanted to go a little bit funsies. Y'all know I love me the monochromatic Colourpop palettes going on here, and I don't think I've done a purpley look on camera before. And I'm also planning on doing a full face of Juvia's Place, and I think that's gonna skew more neutral. So I thought we'd get all kinds of bright and whatever. I did do my eyebrows with the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquefied Lipstick in Wicked. And then I topped it off with a little bit of that neon green shade from the Melt Cosmetics Radioactive palette. So we're just gonna get on in and do this fantasticness on camera. I am using, unfortunately, some limited edition products for blush and highlighter because I don't have a lot of blush and highlighter from Colourpop that I love that aren't these. I will leave everything that I can linked down below, but we're just gonna start off using It's My Pleasure and Lilac You a Lot. Let's see what I want to start with going on here. I think I'm gonna go into the Lilac You a Lot, going into this zoned out shade right here. But just bring myself in a little bit closer for you all. We be using the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I am gonna start linking the brushes. I realize that's something that I have been lacking on. But these are just some of my tried and true palettes. You all know that. And like always, we of course going to be dealing with that saturation problem because my camera and whatever hates me. But aside from that, you all know I love the Colourpop monochromatic palettes. They are some of my absolute fave colorful thingies. Although I have been, excuse me, I have been getting a lot more into some of the indie whateverness. If y'all have seen some of my first impressions with Kaleidos, I also have a video I'm planning on doing first impressions with Odin's Eye, as well as I finally got my hands on some Give Me Glow. They did a restock. I missed the Halo highlighter. One of y'all Snapchatted me and were like, look, this shiz, their stuff is all whatever. And by the time I got there, it was later, it was in the evening. And so by the time I got there, that one was sold out. But I did get some other ones, a couple palettes, some lipstick. So I'm really excited for doing that on my channel because I've heard nothing but amazing things. I've also heard that Menagerie Cosmetics is going to be doing a restock, and your girl wants to try them out. A bunch of y'all have been all like, yes, you need to try that shiz. So I am just beyond excited to be adding more indie makeup into the mix. And quite frankly, I think I've said this in my doing Kaleidos makeup and stuff like that. I've just become all sorts of disenchanted, uninterested in a lot of the mainstream brands. Like ABH is a kinda occasionally okay, but I'm not feeling Urban Decay. I'm not feeling Too Faced. I'm not feeling Tarte, KVD, whatever. And so I've really been on that game, whatever, with working on, you know, doing indie products and stuff like that, because I feel like that is honestly going to be the future of the makeup, other than, you know, just the mainstream brands. They just aren't killing it. And I've learned that like price point does not denote quality. You know, I have tried some amazing affordable and indie whatever makeup that just really inspires me and really just makes me want to go out of my comfort zone, makes me want to create all kinds of fantabulousness. Whereas just a lot of the releases and products from those more mainstream, you know, Sephora, Ulta carried whatever makeup is just kind of at the moment. And I wanted to ask y'all, I was talking to my best friend Morgan one time when we were hanging out, and I was talking about, or maybe it was my mom, I don't know, but I was talking about like, you know, indie makeup, the different brands and stuff like that. And I was saying, you know, I remember back in the day, Juvia's Place was an indie brand, Colourpop was an indie brand. Do you consider brands like that still indie if they're being picked up by like Sephora and Ulta? Because Milk Cosmetics also used to be an independent brand, and obviously they're now at Sephora, which is fantastic. I absolutely love that because I love Milk Cosmetics. But I just sometimes wonder how people feel about these brands that used to be standalone now being in these, you know, brick and mortar type situation stores. You know, do you still consider them indie, or have they branched over into mainstream because, you know, they're being sold at whatever these retailers? So obviously I would love to hear y'all's opinion about that down below. And if this is another thing that I was like, ooh, I wonder, are you less or more inclined to purchase from the indie companies that are picked up by them? Because I know some people can feel a little bit like, you know, they've sold their integrity, or I'm less inclined to buy them because they're with these bigger companies. Because one thing people really like, and what's nice about them being picked up by that, is they're a lot easier to buy from. All right, now I'm gonna go into the It's My Pleasure, and I'm going to be doing kitten pish. Pish is a word for something that I don't know if Colourpop meant to do that, but there it is right there, kitten pish, this shade right here. And for that, I'm gonna be using my Essence eye blender brush right here. I absolutely love these. A lot of times they're on sale at Ulta for like buy one get one 50% off, and I'm like, okay, and I stock up on this one as well as the angled crease brush, which you guys always see me use when I'm doing my whatevers on camera. They're just really good, and for the price, I must admit, brushes are not something. I remember I bought some, this was like forever ago, and I still have them and I love them, but I bought some of the like It Cosmetics It brushes for Ulta, and they're beautiful and they're nice. They're really expensive. So, I mean, I know that like, I don't know, brushes are one of those things that I'm like, you know, I had issues with paying $20 for a beauty blender, and then I wasn't very happy. I don't like the beauty blender. And not just because they be releasing random whateverness shades, that's a whole other thing, but I just don't like the beauty blender as much as my one from Real Techniques and my Wet n Wild one. Those are like my holy grail ones. I also really like the one from Kaleidos Makeup, which I would say is more similar to the beauty blender because it's a lot firmer. But all in all, brushes just aren't something that I guess invest in. You know, they should be, I feel. You know, your tools of your trade up in here. But when it comes to like blowing money on brushes, I just don't. I know we got like Wayne Goss and whatever, and I know NARS brushes. I mean, I couldn't buy from them anyway because they're not cruelty free, but you know, like NARS brushes are really expensive, and I'm just kind of like not into it, not feeling the super pricey makeup brushes going on here. So definitely let me know what kind of makeup brushes y'all enjoy, and makeup brushes that you think are worth the money. Or I did get sent some brushes from Rower. I'm not sure. I'm not quite whatever. I will leave hopefully the name somewhere up here. But Teresa from Teresa is Dead and Lacey from Spooky Lips and Fat Hips apparently put a good word in for me about that company. And they sent me some brushes. I think they're natural bristle, which is like a lot of like the Morphe ones where you have to like condition them and treat them all nicey nice. Not that I don't treat my synthetic ones nicey nice, but I'm pretty sure just with like the natural ones you gotta baby them a little bit more, which, you know, I'm kind of not into. Maybe that's why I don't have fancy brushes, because I'm just lazy and can't be bothered to treat them special. All right, now I'm gonna go into Pan Fiction right here. We're still in the It's My Pleasure. Obviously we are using the Essence Angled Crease Brush. I love this so much. Gonna get a little bit of that right. Can you give me a little more? Usually the Colourpop darker shades like this one right here, Sleeper, you know, they do have a fair amount of kick up and whatever, but this one doesn't seem to. So that could be considered a good thing or a bad thing. It's still nice and pigmented going on there. Ooh, pretty. I am planning on filming another video after this, so hopefully this all turns out all kinds of nicey nice. I hate it when one eye turns out like all perfect and blended and smooth and amazing and the other one's like, no, not gonna work with you today. And I've been noticing it used to be this eye that was all kinds of perfect, and recently it's been this eye. So I don't know what kind of situation we got going on there. But it's just funny thinking about like indie brands and like where they used to be, because I remember when Colourpop first started doing their palettes and everyone was like, I have to have them all. And now they release a palette like every other week and people are just a bit less inclined, partly because they just release the same thing over and over again. You've all heard me talk about Colourpop. I love them to a certain degree, but also there's a lot of just repetitiveness that I don't typically see from indie brands, partly because indie brands don't seem to release as much as the mainstream ones. And indie brands, I feel, take a longer time to come out with a release so that everything is thought out, the aesthetic, the packaging, the formulation, and they also don't make as many units. It takes them longer to, restock, which had honestly been my problem with getting my hands on Give Me Glow, because like every time I wanted their shiz, it was like, nope, out of stock. You ain't gonna have this today. So I'm definitely gonna be setting an alarm for the Menagerie Cosmetics. I follow them on Instagram. So I'm definitely going to be setting the alarm so that I don't miss out. All right, now we're going to be going into the Sleeper shade, which I really like. It's really pretty, but it definitely has much more kick up in the pan going on there. Still a really pretty shade. With this brush, I think I say every time I do this and I use this brush, I just like to use just sort of a patting motion there on that outer V situation. And then we do just a gradual titchy bit of blendy. Just a little bit going on right there. Nice and pretty like. Just going all kinds of nice and purple. So like I said, my Juvia's Place one is going to be more neutral, I think. I did get there. It's actually kind of funny. I was thinking about this because I went to Ulta with my best friend Morgan and I wanted to get the 6-pan palettes by them, those like smaller ones, which I anti-hauled, and I totally forgot about that until after I got them, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember I anti-hauled these. But I tell you, in person, they are all kinds of pretty, so I'm definitely thinking about skewing more neutral in that situation going on there, even though the purple and that berries one is really pretty. I also got the Nomad palette, which is kind of like this greeny whateverness, and then they have that all matte one that looks so pretty. Just because typically with Juvia's Place, you would have seen in my declutter, my main problem with them is their palettes seem so disjointed. I'm gonna take the Kitten Piss shade and this one, and we're gonna do the lower lash line there. You know, they were just really disjointed, had kind of a real like hodgepodge of colors, and for as creative as I am, I do like a palette that has a much more streamlined aesthetic, color story, color theory. I like something that I really don't have to think too hard about. Maybe that's because I'm lazy. And these little ones and some of the newer palettes that they've released have been much more cohesive. So I'm on my low buy, so I'm trying not to bring new things into the collection except for review purposes and things that I can get content out of, which is, I guess I felt a little, don't want to say justified, but I'm like, well, okay, all right, it's gonna be in a video. So I'm not entirely sure about what I'm gonna do with that, but that matte one was so pretty. I was looking at it in store and I ended up getting the Nomad one just because that one, it's got those like grungy green and that yellow mustardy color that I really enjoy. And I'm really, really excited to use those because y'all know, for all y'all, for as long as I've been, you know, getting Juvia's Place and whatever, I've been trying to find a Juvia's palette that truly brings me joy. And a lot of the ones I purchased just kind of haven't. I decluttered a fair amount of them. So I'm really, really excited and looking forward to the ones that I got because they are much more cohesive. I'm excited to use them on camera for all y'all. I think Wake Me Up right here, which is this nice, really pretty. This one is in Lilac You a Lot. And I'm going to be using this beautiful Moda brush. This is the Glam Topper. This is fantastic for shimmers. It is my new favorite thing to use because it's just, you're able to apply it so smoothly and so opaquely. And it also gives you a lot of control about where it goes. You know, your girl is not a cut crease person, but if I were, this is what I would be using for said cut crease, because you can really just get in all the little nook and crannies there, and it just applies it so nicely. And it also makes applying like tricky shimmers, because the Colourpop shimmers, I would say, are super easy to use. They're just very, very pigmented, very. They're just a nice beginner friendly formula because they're just so easy to work with, but this just makes it such a more pleasurable experience. And it works well with tricky ones like the Huda Beauty ones, some of the Milk Cosmetics ones. It's a good time had all around. It also decreases fallout, which is super, super nice. I just love this. And cleaning it is just beyond easy. I just really love this thing. I'm gonna do my eyeliner off camera because I have the Colourpop liner, but I absolutely hate it. So I will be right back with my eyeliner did, and then we will continue with the rest of my face. Ooh, we actually did a pretty good job today. Eyeliner is definitely a cruel mistress, and they never, I know how they say like eyebrows, they're sisters, not twins. I feel like that's more applicable for eyeliner because I am much better at getting clean, straight, similar brows than I am eyeliner. So for my face, I'm gonna be using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. Now I am so torn about these because these products, while they have hyaluronic acid in them, they also have coconut, which in the past has been something that it's great for hydrating, which is why it's in a lot of skincare and a lot of hydrating products. But in the past, I have noticed that things with coconut, whateverness in them, give me these cute little, not cute, white dots all upon my complexion. I am not here for that life, and so it's really frustrating, and I really hope this stuff works because so far, I at least really like the finish that the foundation has given me. It's very, excuse me, burp squad. It's very nice and smooth and skin-like. I don't see it accentuating anything. It's kind of similar to, I would say, that Laura Mercier foundation I tried in, I think, using the ABH Norvina Pro palette 4. And so if I can find some kind of dupe for that, because Laura Mercier, she ain't cheap, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, I did get this shade and a darker one for my summer shade. This one is definitely good matching now, so the darker one's gonna go back. Because I don't think, unless I'm specifically outside, like doing the whatevers, I don't get much darker than this, y'all. And this will be a lot too dark for me when I'm in like February. So this one here is in the shade Fair 25W. I am a doofus when it comes to undertones and all that whatevers. Using my Wet n Wild beauty sponge going on here. Blending nicely nice going on there. It is definitely a light to medium, which is my preferred type of foundation. Your girl does not do the matte high full coverage thing. I just can't. Not how I like my complexion to look. It's not something that, you know, flatters my skin type. All in all, it is just a no-go for me. I do appreciate this one being in a pump. I've been using my Physicians Formula, which has got that giant doe foot applicator, which is sometimes a bit tedious. Okay, so it's looking nice. It's looking, you know, nice and light and skin-like, which, like I said, that is what I go for. I would definitely recommend using just a very light, titchy, dabby. I actually went into the bathroom to see how this looks, because sometimes I can't get the full whateverness of it, and it looks really nice. It's very skin-like, very just smooth, and like it like dries down. Teresa said that it was like kind of like a true skin-like. I think it does give a little bit of dewiness to it, or it's just very healthy, very airbrush. This might be, if I can find a whateverness for the Physicians Formula foundation, because that shiz ain't cruelty free, I will be very happy, especially if it's on that affordable price point, because the Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil whateverness, that it ain't cheap. And so that just looks so nice. Look at how healthy I look, aside from like we will be getting a lighter shade of this, because I will definitely want this in the winter time. Please God, please sweet Lord baby Jesus, do not let this give me little white dots. I also got the concealer, which I didn't really, I just kind of grabbed a shade, and this is really freaking pale. We'll see how that works, but this is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. Obviously, this shade is probably just a little bit, ooh, so white, so pale. This honestly reminds me of like the white shade from the Kat Von D tattoo concealer line. Ooh, it's opaque too. Okay, all right, okay, just gently. Ooh, my nose look very chiseled. I mean, I don't hate that, but like, whoo-wee. All right, then we're gonna do just a little dabby on the under area here. Y'all know how I roll, just a titchy bit, just a little bit. I don't like using a crap ton of concealer because your girl ain't 20, so we got that whateverness. We're just looking to brighten and lift this situation. All right, it's blending nicely. Blend. Definitely super pale. Holy shiznit. And I can tell with this concealer, you do not need a lot. You just want to do the dabby and just have a little bit. Just a little bit, because it is like thick to the point of like it's not thick where it feels like really cakey, but it's thick where you do not need a lot to achieve the desired effect. I don't have a Colourpop setting powder. I don't know if Colourpop makes a setting powder, so I'm just gonna be using my end-all be-all Laura Mercier translucent shiz. So maybe hopefully we can chill this out. I'm using my unsubscribe Morphe x Jeffree Star JS2. This is my holy grail powder brush, because I use like the minimalist, the titchiest bit of powder to just sort of gently make sure my makeup does not move. We're not here having a slippy slidey all up on our face. It looks really nice with the concealer. Y'all aren't gonna tell because my camera ain't HD, but it's very smooth looking, which I'm okay with. Ooh, it looks nice. It's a little bit, it's not like it's accentuating my texture, but it doesn't necessarily cover it. As I'm looking right here, I've got bumps right here. Watch that be a bunch of little white bumps after I take this shiz off. Please, dear God, no. But it does still look very skin-like. like. It's not accentuating my texture that like, oh, she's got a crap ton of, you know, foundation on. It just looks like my skin. Okay, now we're gonna do blush and highlighter. I'm gonna be using these from the Disney Designer Collection. This one is the Court of Miracles shade, which is the Esmeralda color. Using my Real Techniques multitask brush. I love these blushes so much. They're just, oh, if Colourpop were to take this formula and make just a whole bunch of blushes, I would be so happy because they're such a nice formula that's very like soft and delicate. It doesn't accentuate texture. They just look really, really nice on the skin. A subscriber actually sent me all of these and I am beyond grateful because this is a product from Colourpop that I absolutely love that isn't just their eyeshadows. I do want to get the like floating lantern blush shade. That one is like I've looked on Mercari and other places and apparently it's a really popular one, so people are charging like a lot more money for it, but you know, and I'm not gonna pay, you know, $18 or whatever for like a $12 blush. Oh, that's so pretty. I really like that. That's pretty. I'm liking my complexion, which is important to me. Oh no, complexion comes first. Then we're gonna use my favorite highlighter from Colourpop, Horse and Carriage. This shiz is fan tucking fastic. And I'm gonna be using my Equate. I think this is Equate. It's just like a whatever no name brand, whatever from Walmart. It's really good. Little bit of this. It's gonna be so nice. It's gonna be, oh, it's so pretty. Look at that beautifulness. I love this shade so much. I use it on its own. I use it to diffuse other highlighters. It is just such a beautiful color and formula. You gonna look like a beautifully glorious glazed donut. I would say this formula, it's almost like it's like a little bit thicker than the Ofra formula, but it gives you the cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Obviously, all up on these cheekbones. Oh, it just looks so nice. Hello, beautiful, healthy complexion. What's up? Putting highlighter on is obviously the highlight of my day. It just blends so seamlessly into your complexion. It's just absolutely stunning. So sad that this whole shiz was a limited edition. I think it's stupid. Kind of buff that out to give us that seamlessness, as John McClane would like to say. Seamlessness is so, oh, it's just, I am very happy right now. And to top it all off, I don't have a lot of lip products by Colourpop. I despise their ultra matte whateverness. Their ultra glossy lips are nasty and gloopy, but I do like their lippy sticks. This here is in Glam Bag. I'm a really big fan of these. I think they look really nice. They're really easy to get a good sculptural look on your lips, which I have thin lips, so that's always good. I'm just gonna take it and just so delicately line out my lips. I love how I'm like, I'm gonna sit here and talk to these people while I'm doing it. Like that's, no, stop it, stupid. Okay, that's as good as we're gonna get on lips. Not my finest hour, but I find lips to be like eyebrows, I'm like, oh, I'm totally fine. But getting like the clean, the people that like overline and do those perfect lip things, I'm just like, wow, I have so much respect for you. Now we're gonna be using the Colourpop setting mist. It has coconut water, and there was a mist that I loved from e.l.f. and that gave me whateverness, so we will see about this. And I did have one of y'all ask, oh, do you use mascara? Typically not in my videos like this, because if I'm just filming this video and I'm not filming anything afterwards, I don't want to deal with the hassle of putting mascara on my eyes. And also because I do setting spray before I do my mascara and typically before my lips, but today we're not. Let's just give this, let's test the mister. All right. Ooh, whoa. Ooh, that's gonna be a lot. Okay, all right. 12 inches from the face. All right, let's. Smells good. Smells good. give me a nice dewy whateverness. Please don't make my lipstick run, please. Okay, so here we have the finished results of my full face of Colourpop. I really hope that the foundation does not break me out, because I am super enjoying how it looks on my complexion and the kind of complexion it gives me. That is the sort of foundation that I am down with. Light to medium, skin-like. Obviously, I love the eyeshadow palettes and I love the whatever and I love the blush and the highlighter, but you know, I will be continuing to try out the excuse me, burp squad. The foundation with, you know, Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'll be trying the primer out with other foundations, concealer, all that jazz, but just on this, I really like how my my complexion looks. Obviously, I would love to hear what y'all have to say about the products that I used. Also, let me know down below brands that you would like to see full faces of. I've got obviously Juvia's Place. I'm thinking about doing Milani. I'm going to be doing that high-end, low-end one because I am really enjoying doing these videos, doing my makeup on camera now, and a lot of y'all really enjoy them, so expect to see more on the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!